Make sure we're live.
We're live.
We're live?
We are live.
Oh, welcome to the Legends Clubhouse on this TGIF. Thank God it's Friday.
hmm
I am Bobby Kaboose. As always, I'm with Last Minute Lawson. What's going on, man?
I
Way to
mean,
show up at the very last second.
listen. It there's a
I'm
I would rather under promise and over deliver than the other way around.
all right.
Yeah, but dude.
Fair enough.
So yeah, bro, what's going on?
Oh man, tired. Yeah. It's Friday. I'm just gotta get through today, and then we get to enjoy the weekend.
hmm
Um, but what is going on today? What was the final last night?
27-18 Green Bay.
Yeah. So they Washington did not cover like I thought they would. I took the 3.5, so
Oh,
that's
big
a
oof.
little unfortunate. Yeah, big oof. I actually, I should have. There was during the game there was a live spread of 13.5, and I'm really pissed that I didn't jump on that.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway,
hmm
Packers are 2-0. They're ahead of top team in the North right now.
Yeah.
It's a little sad. But this Sunday, man, it's kind of a must win for my Detroit Lions, man. We talked about this, I think on Monday and or Wednesday when I
Yeah.
came back. Yeah, Wednesday. So, teams that start 0-2, not a good chance to get to the playoffs, man. So, they got to come out, and then Ben Johnson coming back to town. Benedict Johnson. Um,
Benedict Johnson's
you know, Benedict Johnson,
Is
dude.
that what they're calling him up
Uh,
there in Detroit?
I heard it on the radio, yeah, so I can't take full credit
That's
for it.
awesome. It's
But it's
so
like
funny.
that's pretty good. Um,
Before we dive
yeah,
into
Benedict.
I'm sorry, continue.
I just said Benedict
Oh,
Johnson.
that's that's awesome. Before we dive into last night's game, I saw a very interesting interaction between Dan Campbell and a reporter. I saw the clip yesterday. I don't know if the original, it wasn't even an altercation, but it was like interesting altercation between Dan Campbell and reporters. Someone asked him about, oh, well, if the offense was, since you lose Ben Johnson and stuff like that, if Jared Goff in the offense was so good last year and this year, once again after one game, but he didn't say after one game, the offense looks a
Hmm.
lot different. Why wouldn't you just run the exact same thing? And Dan Campbell was like, "What did you say?" Because the guy was like, "Well, there wasn't a lot of pre-snap motions and X, Y, Z."
Yeah.
And Dan Campbell was like, "Well, go look last year of our pre-snap motion on the road." And and it was just so funny because like as these beat writers and reporters, like there's always a couple of these interactions every year where they ask just kind
Hmm.
of buffoonish questions like, why wouldn't you just run the exact same thing last year? I don't know, because
Yeah.
they ran 1,100
Well,
plays last year, so
why
there's
don't you
tape on all of
run
them.
like yeah, why don't you just start from game one last year, play one, and you just run the exact same plays in the exact order?
If
I don't understand why you don't, because then you would end up 15-2.
Why would you not just run like the fake fumble every play? It worked.
Right, dude, it
Yeah,
worked. Why don't you just run the touchdown play?
run the touchdown play. It's funny.
Yeah,
No, no,
just
but
run the
it
touchdown
it
play.
it and I understand. When you're in those, when you're in the press rooms and stuff like that, your objective is to generate quotes and titles and stuff like that. But to ask Dan Campbell, who's he's more personality than X's and O's coach. But
Hmm.
to ask him straight up, yeah, why wouldn't you just run like the same offense y'all did last year? And it's like, if you look on the road, it's a lot harder to. I mean, not just Detroit last year on the road, but whenever you're playing on the road, it's a lot harder to do a lot more motions because all of it's timing, and you're in the
Yeah.
away element, so it's hard to hear. But yeah, when he asked flat out, why don't you just run like some of like the exact same stuff if Goff had success last year in it? And it's like, dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah. That's kind of a dumbass question, like you said. Like
I'm
you know,
surprised, Dan,
you have
because
to
continue. I'm
you
sorry.
have to answer this week one, right? So,
D-
this is gonna be fucking 17 more weeks of probably this dumbass asking these stupid ass questions. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see.
But to go into last
Maybe,
night, what? Oh, I'm sorry.
maybe,
Maybe.
just throwing it out there,
Yeah.
maybe he's working for a company that they assign him a beat that he is nothing, no, he knows nothing about, and he just has to, suck it up and write 5 articles about it a week or something.
I mean, someone's
I'm
got to.
just
No, but to dive into last night a little bit, what was your? Because I don't know at what point you either cut it off or went to bed or whatever.
watching it.
Huh?
I was scoreboard watching a little bit, but I didn't watch it at all.
Yeah.
It was just on.
Oh,
I
oh,
think
the
it was on.
game in
It was on.
general. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't watch it at all.
yeah.
I didn't watch it.
One of the interesting things to me, especially early on, Green Bay's defense, like I thought they would be a really feast or famine like they were last year when it comes to turnover differentials and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But to me, their defense is so damn fast. Like they're
Mhm.
not allowing anything deep or intermediate for the most part, especially early on last night. Like for Jaden Daniels, it was a lot of dinking and dunking and just rally to the ball. And I don't know if they now have the gravitas that now we got Micah Parsons here because Micah Parsons
Mhm.
obviously isn't everywhere, but it was just like the speed to rally to the football was almost it was ridiculous because Jaden Daniels he threw the ball 42 times last night and had 200 exact yards. So it's like that is
Wow.
like there's not a lot of yak yardage to be made when you're going against this Packers defense. That's what it looks like to me through the first couple weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. They definitely look like they might be the team to beat in the North,
Hmm.
especially with the Chicago Bears collapsing. The Lions, who knows? They're probably the Lions could be one of the biggest question marks in the league, man, as far as this year.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that their Super Bowl window is not closed,
Hmm.
but it's looking like the wind may have shut it a little bit. It might not be completely closed, but
Hmm.
it might be swaying in the wind right now.
Since you didn't watch the game, did you see the Packers receiver Jaden Reed broke his collarbone?
I didn't see anything, man. I just woke up and I didn't see anything about football. So,
Yeah.
just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I think my Tigers got blown out yesterday too. Last time I saw it was like 6-1, but I didn't see any of that game either.
I think it
But
ended up being like 9-1. I think.
but hey, they were the first team in MLB history to beat the Yankees back to back with at Yankee Stadium, scoring over 10 runs.
Really?
I think so, yeah. It was like some weird stat or something, or maybe win 2 games by 10. Was it like 11-1 and something else?
Let me double check the score
But yeah.
because I remember the first game 2 days ago of the series. It was 1-1 through like 6 innings, and then
Mhm.
in the seventh or whatever it was, the Tigers really just blew them out.
Yeah, they scored like 8 or 9 runs in that inning.
Yeah, ridiculous. So yeah, Detroit won 12-2, and then 11-1. Oh, it was 9-3. 9-3 was the final score last night.
So yeah, they're the first team to win back-to-back games in Yankee Stadium by 10, as the road team.
That's
So
nuts. Big round of applause.
we're setting records here in Detroit, whether they're good or bad. We are setting records.
Whether they're good or they're bad. Speaking of your Tigers, um, so in the NFL they have like your trap game. Is
Hmm.
there anything in like ML in baseball that's like a trap series? Because they got game one of a 3 game stretch or series against the Marlins, and the Tigers and the Blue Jays are technically tied, even though the Blue Jays are have the number 1 seed. But could this be like a little trap series?
I don't.
Because Miami's not a good team, but they're I feel
Right.
even the bad teams in baseball, like if you could have a missed pitch here or an error here, and it's like we should not lose to a boo boo team.
Hmm. No, the only reason I don't think there's trap stuff in baseball is because you play a team like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
Usually it's not a 2 game series, but it's kind of hard to look past 3 or 4 games.
yeah.
Um, the only trap series ever in Detroit Tigers baseball history was back in the mid 2000s, where Detroit had to win literally, I think, 1 game. It might have been like 2008, 2009. they had to win one game against the Chicago White Sox, and I believe the Chicago White Sox were like one of the worst teams in the division,
Mm.
you know, similar to now. Um, and they needed to win one game, and all the Latino players, or at least Miguel Cabrera, went out drinking with frickin' Ozzie Guillen, um, or Carlos, or no, Ozzie Guillen, yeah, the manager of the White Sox, because they're boys, went out drinking the night before, and we ended up losing and not making the playoffs, and we needed to win one game of the series.
That's
So
funny.
that's the only time I think that there was a trap series, and it's just because they were probably similar to bench warmers, probably just drinking tequila out of their mitts and you know fucking getting shit faced and then having to go play baseball. So
That's
yeah,
funny.
that, if you need a trap series, if you want to be the spoiler, have your manager take some players out of the from the opposing team out for drinks the night before.
That's awesome. Scooble's on the mountain tonight. It's cr-
Scooble's on the mound. If possible, no hitter watch.
it's interesting because over the course of the season, I think the Marlins are hitting like 229 against lefties, and
Hmm.
especially over like the past 5 6 games, Scooble's like been on a tear, dude. Like
Yeah, I mean,
he's gone into the seventh in what 5 6 straight. It's
yeah, I mean he's gotta like kind of cement his Cy Young award winning, for this year. So
because
he
I
is on
think
a tear now.
he's 6 Ks behind. I think Garrett Crochet's at like 228, and I think
Mhm.
Scooble's at like 222. It's really interesting because over the course of the season, obviously you watch with more attention to detail, or would watch a little bit different more than I would, because me being a casual baseball fan, I like seeing star pitchers, batters, hitters, fielders, XYZ, and all that jazz. Statistically, you can make an argument that he's better this year than he was last year,
Yeah,
which is
and
kind of
that's pretty
insane.
impressive because I think he won. Did he win the pitcher triple crown
Yeah,
last year?
yeah, it was him, and it's one of the I remember it was one of the few seasons in MLB history where the Cy Young winner on both sides won the Triple Crown. Chris Sale won the Triple Crown in the American League, or in the National League, and Scuba won it in the American League.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought it was Skeens that did it in the National League, but you're probably right with Chris Sale.
Yeah,
But Chris Sale's probably not. He's probably not cutting up his jersey anymore. He matured past that.
dude,
That was one of the weirdest things in sports, I think, history
which is
or
insane.
recent.
Which is insane because like he's I don't know if it's if it's delivery, but that big funky sidearm, slider away. You better if it's lefty lefty, put his gotcha put away pitch. He's not
Yeah,
going high cheese inside. It's a slider away and praying you chase.
yeah. I mean, he tries to pitch like everyone tries to pitch to Javi Baez, but on the left side, left hand side,
Dude, for
just
real.
swing and miss 5 feet away. You know, um, but yeah, man, playoffs are right around the corner.
Hmm.
This is one of the better times in sports, in the sports calendar year, because you got playoffs coming up and football's in full gear, and
Hmm.
you got the NBA and NHL starting up right around the corner, right?
Oh,
So,
100%.
yeah, we're a little busy here, right?
Right, dude.
And then we have WrestlePalooza or whatever the fuck it's called right around the
Yeah.
corner. With CM Punk and AJ Lee taking on Rollins and Becky Lynch. I think that might be one of the only matches like um that's confirmed right now. That and maybe Brock and Cena,
I,
maybe?
I was just about to say, speaking of wrestling and all that jazz, apparently, if I remember seeing it correctly, Brock is advertised tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, dude, I'm a fan of Brock. I know people like hate him because either because of the allegation shit or because of he's like a part timer. But you can't tell me that motherfucker doesn't sell like a motherfucker, dude.
Oh, the
Like
draw is insane.
he is amazing. Like he is amazing in the ring. Like if he was a full-time guy, like if he was there all the time, like he would probably be close to everyone's favorite wrestler. Like he is amazing in the ring. And then like just his aura, his presence, like everything, like the package with Paul Heyman at one point, and even like I don't even think he needs Paul Heyman, anymore.
Hmm.
But I thought it was cool like when he didn't have to talk, like he's not that he's one way or the other on the mic, he's probably not the best on the mic, probably not the worst, but um just being a badass that doesn't need to speak, that's pretty cool. But yeah, man, he might destroy Cena in this match. Because I don't think Cena has to win every single one of his last matches, right?
Nah, I don't think so.
So, I was actually surprised that Cena lost the little U.S. Open Oh, well, he didn't lose. Brock Lesnar came out and destroyed both of them. But there's a part of me that thought that he would have won the U.S. title for the last time, and then lost it like as a U.S. Open challenge his last match.
I was gonna say because it was I thought it was such a cool moment when they brought when Cena was cutting whatever promo it was, then Sammy came out because apparently back when Cena was when he was doing the U.S. Open Challenge, apparently Sami Zayn was like the first dude to challenge him.
Yeah.
And um I don't know how you feel about this. So obviously Cena can't go back and take on all his former rivalries and adversaries. Are you a fan of him like doing the 2015 Cena where he's just doing all these crazy moves, to channel
I
in
don't
all his other guys?
Yeah, I don't mind him like paying homage or honoring people by doing their moves like he did like the Styles Clash last
The
week and
spear,
an RKO spear. So like yeah, like you can't get it all in, so you fit it in somewhere else. I don't mind it. Like
hmm
um I think it's funny because for all the people that like chant like you can't wrestle to Cena and then he pulls out this shit like the biggest names in wrestling history, a lot of them can't wrestle, right?
yeah.
Hulk Hogan, he could sell, but then he would just do, punch punch punch, big boot, leg drop, bam, it's over, right? Ultimate Warrior kind of the same thing. Like
Stone Cold, kind of the same thing.
Stone Cold was actually a really legit good wrestler, technical
But
wrestler before he started getting hurt and stuff. But like
yeah.
again, not big moves, just whooping ass, like a bunch of punches and kicks, and
hmm
and a Stone Cold Stunner and the bird at the end, right? So, um, people that think that like, you have to be Ricochet or Will Ospreay or, AJ Styles to be a good wrestler and to draw money, you're absolutely wrong. You
hmm
need to you have a larger than life character and an aura about you. It doesn't matter what you fucking do in the ring. It really doesn't. That like to get over, I think you need the charisma from the crowd and the mic skills. And if you don't have them, that's why certain dudes. That's why I don't think any of the like the Japanese wrestlers get over here because like it's like okay, like they're great in the ring, but like you can't understand when they talk, and you're like okay, well, what is drawing me in to have any interest in this guy
Yeah.
or girl? Yeah, you know.
One of the it's great that you brought up, like sometimes the Japanese wrestler can't get over. The one in recent memory was when Shinsuke Nakamura came out and like the crowd was immediately over,
Hmm.
and I remember when he debuted, the whole arena went black. They had the violin player, and I think it was Miz and Maurice cutting like a fake Cena, Nikki Bella
Yeah,
thing, and when the what is what it's called, what, violinist, pianist,
yeah, a
uh
pianist.
pianist, there you go. when he was going crazy and it flashed Shinsuke over the Titantron and the fucking crowd went nuts and they immediately was like,
Mhm.
holy, like it's one of those, even if you go back, just you don't have to watch, but if you just listen, like it's a genuine chills thing because there's something about the live crowd, whether it be
Mhm.
in a baseball game, a basketball game, there's just the live crowd makes it so, it genuinely, there's the expression, some people don't hear music, they feel it. You just feel a
Mhm.
crowd even if it's through a TV.
Right. Well, they even, there's, people that like for example, like Bruce Pritchard. He's like, we don't try to please the internet wrestling community. We try to please the people that are in attendance,
Right.
right? Like that's your gauge. Like, like you can talk all the shit you want online, but it's like it's kind of like, if you talk shit, like I talk shit about Matt Stafford, right, all the time, right,
Right.
about like, I don't like his game. I think he's overrated, whatever. But if I meet the guy in person, it's not like I have anything I don't have any personal beef against this dude. Like, oh, fuck, I just don't like him because he was on my team and he didn't do shit for us, right? So like, it's not like if I met him, I'd be like, hey man, you're a fucking asshole because you lost for the Lions. I'd be like, hey man, I'm not a huge fan of yours, but it's nice to meet you. I'm sure you're probably a decent dude,
I
like,
respect
whatever.
I respect your
You know,
career. I wish you could have done it with us. One of those
I don't
type things.
respect. Well, I wouldn't be like I respect your career because you suck, but I'd be like, hey, I respect you as a person,
Yeah.
like not, like, and so.
Hmm.
Um, but with the live crowd, you like I said, you have an instant reaction and see, you're if you base your shit on what people say on the internet, dude, you're never gonna please anyone. And
Never.
like how JBL always says, dude, it's not cool. Or like people don't think it's cool to agree with the product online because you sound stupid if you agree with it, but if you disagree, you make yourself try to sound smart as a smart mark or whatever.
Or stand out.
Oh, they should have did this because I'm the smartest man in the room type thing.
Dude, I like this is kind of an example, but kind of not really. It's like when you and somebody, you go and you see a movie and it's a great movie, and then there's just someone ding dong, I fucking hated it. Like, why?
Hmm.
Like, example, me and you could go see Titanic, we come out, bro, that was a great movie, and we're talking about it, some random dude, I fucking hated it. Damn, dude, what was
Yeah,
wrong with the Titanic? And he's like, I don't know, I just didn't like it. I'm like, what the fuck
ship
are you
sank.
talking? Huh?
Ship sank.
Dude,
I didn't
for
like
real.
it.
I'm a fan of
Uh,
ships and it sunk.
No, so actually, there's been like studies done that with like movies and books, right?
Hmm.
Most people won't tell you that um they won't say that they disliked something if they took the time to do it. Like if they took the time to read a book or watch a movie, most people won't say they disliked it because like psychologically and like subconsciously you don't want to admit to yourself that you wasted your time watching or reading something
That's a good
and
point.
then not like, so most people will be like, yeah, that was a good movie or whatever, like just because they don't want to say that they wasted their time watching a bad movie.
Hmm. Interesting. I mean, it makes sense because one of the things that we can spend a million units on it and never to get it back is time. And
Right.
yeah, so that's a great point, and I never thought about it. How most people will say like, "Oh, good movie, bad movie, X, Y, Z." It's like, oh, to your point, or to what you just said. It's not that I didn't like it, but it wasn't. It was alright.
Right.
Yeah, as opposed to
Right.
I just wasted 2.5 hours watching this shitty movie.
Right. Yeah, because yeah, most people won't admit like they wasted their time on something that they didn't enjoy.
Mm.
Um, but speaking of that, man, so um, 20 24 years ago, right? You were I don't even know if you were, yeah, you weren't on planet Earth yet, right? You were in
No, I
as far
was.
as 24 years ago today.
Yeah, I was.
You were?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you were a youngin.
Yeah, I
So
wasn't even a year old yet.
all right, 24 years ago today, right? The day after 9/11. the this country was probably the most patriotic the most patriotic day in my lifetime, right? And in a lot of people's lifetimes, because the day after 9/11, obviously we all know what happened on 9/11 in 2001, but September 12th, 2001 was probably the most patriotic day in um the United States history, right? And I feel like all Americans were able to come together one day, and have, this patriotic feeling of us being attacked, and we have to stand together. Well, fast forward 24 years, and I feel like, we don't talk politics on this show, and it's a good thing, and we don't talk religion, and we don't talk about certain things. And I'm not going onto a political rant, because this is not what it is. Um, but we were just talking about people's opinions and things like that. I think social media has absolutely destroyed our unity as a country, as a society, as people. You know what I'm talking about. Everyone knows what I'm fucking talking about within the last 2 days of what happened, right?
Yeah.
It's absolutely uncalled for, and the way that people are celebrating, like, I don't care if you're one way or the other, but if you're celebrating a person's death like this, there is something wrong with you. Just because someone gives their opinion and you don't agree with it doesn't mean that violence is the answer. It doesn't mean that you have to celebrate, like people were celebrating Hulk Hogan's death, now this. Like, dude, that society as a whole is fucked up for and I blame social media. Imagine if social media was around when, like, JFK got shot. I mean, that was on, on TV. It was filmed, and you didn't have this big uproar of like, yeah, he deserved it, or whatever. Dude, people were in mourning about that. This, I can't believe that I have seen so many videos, so many tweets, so many things that, like, are like, thank God guy is dead and all this shit. Dude, literally just because you don't have the same opinion as him. Or, and with this happening on basically, I don't know if it was live TV, live stream, whatever, but definitely live, right? Um, what is stopping people from doing this to someone, like, I don't even want to say names because I don't even want to put it out there, but like,
Yeah.
what if someone like that has a hot sports take, or doesn't isn't a fan of a team, or you're not a fan of someone's music, like, like, this is becoming scary for any individual to get in front of any kind of crowd of any kind. Like, like I said, just because you don't view the same politically, religiously, sexually, whatever the fuck the case is, just because someone is different than you and has a different opinion, violence shouldn't be the answer. This guy, like, from I didn't even know who the fuck this guy was prior to 2 days ago.
Right.
So I'm not registered to vote. I don't fucking care who the president is. I don't care who is in Congress, whatever, my mayor, whatever the fuck. I don't care. And people that do, that's cool. If politics is your thing, it's great. But for someone to be able to have their life affected by an opinion and not do anything maliciously is absolutely ridiculous. And I wanted to take this time to get this off my chest, because there is no room for this shit in this world. This world is fucking sad right now, and we as people have to do fucking better. This is absurd that people have to, somewhat fear of going in front of a group of people to do whatever because you have to worry about this shit.
Yeah, it's once again not to dive into politics because once again we don't do that because
Yeah.
it can get really yeah
I mean,
really sided.
dude, I was told when I was growing up, not to talk about politics, not to talk about religion, because it always brings up, someone somewhere is not going to have the same view as you, and it always escalates the situation. People usually can't have common conversation and communicate with people without getting their tempers raised
Yeah.
and getting into some kind of fight. Um, my mother was the only person in my family that was registered to vote, and when I was a child, I remember asking her who she voted for, and she was like, Bobby, that's none of your business. You don't tell people who you vote for.
Yeah.
And social media obviously has completely thrown that out the window. It's a completely old school thinking. And if you want to preach what you believe and your rights and all this bullshit or whatever, not bullshit, that's fine. But violence, and because you don't have the same opinion as another person, is never the fucking answer. Now that dude's daughter, I think he had two. Now they're gonna be growing up A, without a father, but B, with that fucking footage of their dad getting shot in the goddamn fucking neck at their disposal at any fucking time. It's not right. I think it's absolutely absurd. Whoever is celebrating this shit, you're literally celebrating a man's death. What the fuck happened to society, dude? Like, this is like Biggie used to say, man, like, I don't wish death, like, huge beef against Tupac. I don't, I don't wish death upon nobody, because there's no coming back from that. You're
Yeah.
not giving someone a second chance if you fucking kill them.
Yeah. And once again, I'm not one to dive into personal opinions, XYZ, all that jazz when it comes to politics, XYZ, because it is what it is. When some people in my group chat, and they were they were talking amongst themselves, and just discussing it, and we're not obviously who we're talking about. We're not going to name drop, because that could lead to XYZ, all that jazz. um but I said, guys, I'm not, obviously, I'm not one to condone. No one should die over what they talk about, speak about X, Y, Z, all that jazz. Um, at the same time, two things can be true. There are some things that, if you discuss, some people just don't play about stuff like that.
Hmm.
And it's fucked up to say, but I put in me and somebody's group chat. I said, you obviously you have the right to free speech. You can say whatever you want. At the same time, the few things that some people they just don't play about: beliefs, religion, politics, family, and for whatever reason, but not to the same extent as the other ones, sports.
Yeah.
If you discuss those things with certain people, and you whether bring up how, no matter what your opinion is on it, if it is considered dark by the generalization of society and whoever you're talking about with, there is a good chance that you could end up physically hurt,
Yeah.
because some people
I
just don't
mean,
play. And and
right.
and
And
and, I,
the
and
thing,
real quick, I'm not condoning that. Oh, if I say one thing and they say something completely different, no matter how fucked up, I'm gonna beat their ass. No, I'm not saying that. But it's very tough, and it's a sticky spot, because when you are a public figure like he became,
mhm.
it's really difficult to walk the line, because obviously there's not going to be one person that everyone's not going to see every single point about what you're saying. They're going to take the clips and the generalizations of it.
Right. And you're, at least I was taught as a kid to treat others the way you want to be treated,
Bingo.
and that sticks and stones may break your bones, but words could never hurt you, right?
Hmm.
Now, instead of learning those two rules, people are learning fuck around and find out, which is
Yeah, that's a
fucked
that's
up.
a good,
Like,
yeah.
you don't have to be the fucking biggest dog in the yard. You don't have to be, have this chip on your shoulder, all this shit. Like, just treat people the way you want to be treated, man. Like, literally, like, I think the world would be, of course there's great uses for social media promotion, getting your name out there, blah 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 blah. If you have a positive message, blah 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 blah. But most of it's negative.
Hmm.
I think the world would be a much better place without social media, and I think that's the reason why 24 years later on this certain date that our country and possibly our world is more divided than 24 years ago, where we all came together as a country and as one to, fight, an enemy instead of fighting ourselves and trying to please every single person and, whatever. So, I just think as far as society as a whole, we need to do better. This is ridiculous
Yeah,
that you
it's
can't do something and like because like I mean shit man, like our show pops off dude and we do a tour, like fuck man, if someone doesn't like what I say,
about
are they
Matt
gonna come
Stafford
after
or
like fuck man, like
yeah.
most of
It's
my shit is, if you don't know me, most of my shit that I say, minus like this little rant and some other rants, 95% of the shit that comes out of my mouth is either sarcastic or jokingly. Take a fucking joke. Words cannot hurt you unless
yeah.
you allow them to.
Yeah, it's really um interesting as to how, the social media landscape was really divided on, two, in quotations, sides.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all day the past 2 days on my feed.
Yeah, dude, I
All
couldn't
day.
I couldn't get anything else. Like I'm like I have seen this video in every single angle possible. All these conspiracies, all these, people talking shit like Jesus Christ, man. And like it's just shoved down your throat and like I was like, dude, I want to see funny memes and sports and,
Someone someone made it someone made, I think it was some, obviously it was some random person on Twitter. I don't remember, guy or girl, but they tweeted out and said, "How do I get ass in sports back on my timeline?"
dude,
It's
minus the ass, I just want the sports, man.
yeah,
I just
but
want the
yeah, it was
some
the
fucking memes. Right. No, I get,
yeah, it
I
was
get it. Like, I'm
yeah,
like, shit, dude, like, ain't that the truth, man? I just want my normal shit on there and not, seeing a dude die in front of my eyes.
dude.
And
When I and I'm not comparing, the two times, but for about 2-3 weeks after Elon bought X, well, Twitter/X now,
mhm,
whatever you want to call it, I'm still just gonna default call it Twitter, just because I've called it all my life. It's gonna obviously take, time, XYZ and all that jazz. For like the like the 2.5-3 weeks right after he bought it, dude, I don't know what reset my algorithm, but it was all killings and murders and hate speech and all,
yeah.
and I'm like, what happened to my sports and funny memes, dude?
I'm like my thing, like I have a bunch of like school fights, which some of them I'm like, like I watch them, like they're somewhat entertaining, but I'm like, dude, even with that, I'm like, I am so glad, and I don't know if like because I know you're significantly younger than me,
Yeah.
um, but like I am so glad that I was not in high school with camera phones or social media or basically like a camcorder in your pocket. Like,
Mhm.
dude, you cannot get away with anything like embarrassing wise or anything in that way. Like things live forever now. And especially with kids, they're so quick to fucking pull out their phone and record something.
Yeah.
I'm like, Christ, man, like these things could fucking just like they're gonna be out there forever, and you're never gonna be able to escape it. Like you wonder why, mental health is at an all-time high right now, especially with younger kids. Fuck, dude. Like I said, said before, fuck around and find out. You have one embarrassing moment in school, and that's gonna live with you forever.
Dude,
Like,
it's like
if I shit my pants in school, there's no record of it. It disappeared a month later.
dog, fucking a couple months ago when you told the bro job story. He might
Exactly.
he might still be called bro job worldwide to this day.
Dude. I mean, we could have made him famous. You know,
Or
it's
infamous.
crazy. Yeah, right, right. But Okay, so I do want to get off
Past it,
the
yeah,
sugary.
because it, yeah,
So I just need to say that, man. I didn't know if I wanted to open the show, close the show with that, but like, society's got to be better, man. Like this is absolutely ridiculous that half the country's celebrating this shit and half the people are fucking pissed, and it all stems from fucking religion and opinions, dude. Like whatever, dude. Everyone's got an opinion. Like if you don't like it, don't listen. Like just like a TV show. You don't like it, don't watch. And not everything's for everyone. So, select your shit that you enjoy and just mind your own fucking business. Anyway,
yeah.
I got a question for you, man.
All right.
So, have you ever um like went to like get a snack or some food or something and you take a bite out of it and it may have gone bad?
Yeah, I have. I've like a cup. This was a couple years ago. Um, I made the mistake of not smelling the milk before,
Ugh,
and
done that.
my brother in Christ, when I was like, cause I just got up, and I don't know about you,
Mhm.
I'm a big milk drinker. I can drink the fuck out of some milk,
Used to be. I used to be.
dude.
Dude, so
Fuck
real quick,
yeah,
when I was a kid, mom would tell me that she would buy 6 gallons of milk a week. And I would go through the six. And she like the one day like, we had no milk, like she'd be like, okay, you have to drink something else. But yeah, I drank a shit ton of milk. And the last time I drank white milk was the same thing you're talking about is I drank some that was probably a day or two old. It was not good and it kind of made me sick to my stomach, and I never drank white milk again.
dude. Fucking it just happened a couple weeks ago too. Fucking I get up. I'm like, you know what sounds great right now? A nice cold glass of milk in the morning. I walk out, pick it up, don't look the date, immediately pour some in the cup. I'm like, this is gonna be delicious and refreshing. Take about, it touches my fucking tongue, and it's that sour taste. I'm like, "Bleh!" It immediately just fucking, dude. It looked like, you remember back in school where you'd have like the water fountains and you got to push thing go. Yeah, dude,
Mm.
fucking, I immediately cut the sink on and my fucking face was like this with the water dripping out of the fucking sink. I'm like, ugh, I didn't even reach for anything else in the fucking, in the fridge. I'm like, this is, ugh.
Yeah, no, no good. So last night,
Oh, God.
we're chilling, and we may have taken some edibles, and hanging out and watching some Righteous Gemstones. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that show, but
No.
it's amazing. It's got what's his name, Danny McBride and John Goodman and Adam Devine or something along his names. It's got Bradley Cooper in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he makes a cameo. There's a bunch of big names, right?
Right.
So, anyway, we're watching, and my girlfriend, she slowly, looks at me with, and she's like, I want applesauce, and I'm like, oh, we
Oh,
we still have
no.
applesauce, right? And like she's like, it's still good, right? And I'm like, yeah, it expires next month. So she's like, "Can you get me some?" Like her ankle's been hurting her, so I'm like, "All right, I can help out, right? I can go get you some applesauce." So I go to the fridge, grab the applesauce. I'm trying to open it, and like it's kind of a little difficult to open. Like it's real tight, and I'm like, well, who the fuck tightened this much? So I pop it open, and it's like, and I'm like, that's kind of weird, right? I didn't think anything of it. So I fucking pour some applesauce in the bowl for her, and I bring it over to her, and she's like, "This is it." And I was like, "Well, a lot of times I will put too much applesauce in the bowl, and then I'm like, fuck, man, this is a lot of applesauce." So like, I learned to like put little like smaller amounts,
And if
and
I
then
want
you can
more,
always
I go, dude,
right.
real quick. Whenever I was younger, I see, I'm a pro sauce guy. Like whatever food,
Mhm.
like I, put in. I remember this one time, my dad made whatever the fuck it was, and I put like a shit ton of sauce on my plate, and he was like, "Hey, you put a little, you can always come back and get some more, dude, because then if you don't use it all, you got this big goop of fucking sauce on the
Yeah,
side."
exactly. You got a
Yeah,
big goop of dip, right?
dude, for real.
Um, So so she's like, "This is it?" And I go, "Yeah, just, eat this much and, if you want more, I can get you more, right?" So I didn't grab any for myself, right? Just grabbed it for her.
Mm.
And so she takes a bite and her face is like really excited for this applesauce. She puts it in and she's like immediately go and like couldn't move, and fucking applesauce just starts dripping out of her mouth as she's trying to spit it back in the bowl. And I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, and she finally gets all the fucking applesauce, and she's like, and she has to run into the kitchen and fucking, like I said, fucking put the
Faucet it up under.
and I was like, "What's wrong? It doesn't taste good." And she's like, "It's it's like it's bad." And I was like, "Well, what does it taste like?" She said it was sour and just
Bitter.
not
Yeah.
yeah, just not the best episode. So I was like, "So
What was the
should I
date
put
on
it in
it?
the fridge?" Like, well, the date was still, it was in October. It went bad October like 5th or 6th, and
That's next month.
so. I know. That's why I'm like, it should still be good.
That's
But I ended up rinsing all of them out, put it down the garbage disposal, and that was it.
that's
But
so funny, dude.
But it was funny too, because like usually like I would partake in applesauce eating too, because they're like, dude, when I don't know if you've ever we're under the influence of a marijuana tablet. As Mean Girls, my boy, what's his name? Not Ollie G. What's the dude's name in Mean Girls that raps? The nerd, the Indian dude who's on the Mathletes.
Isn't it like something G?
Yeah, it's something G. It's not Ollie G, but it's maybe Kevin G, Kenny G, not Kenny G, Kevin G. It might be Kevin G.
It sounds
but
familiar,
anyway,
yeah.
yeah, he I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh, he called it marijuana tablets. So yeah, if you have a marijuana tablet, and applesauce is amazing. Applesauce is so good. Under a little bit of influence.
Dude, I remember this was like the first time I partook in in the Mary Jane. My boy came up from Florida, right? And we're hanging out at XYZ, and not to put moms on blast, but like my mom, as I previously mentioned, she's everybody's friend, and she's like, if you're gonna do something, do it under my roof, or tell me about it so I can, make, because her whole thing was, I don't want you getting it from your fucking friends and from like her, people she knows. If you ever want to try anything, that's not anything crazy, she was like, let me know, and I'll call somebody so I can make sure that it's safe for you and whatever. And so
Right.
when my boy was coming up, he said, hey, can you tell your mom to call one of her friends and hook us up, because he was coming up for whatever, right? And so fucking he gets there, we smoke it. We smoke. We're hanging out in my room, fucking higher than eagle ass, right? And he was like, "Yo, y'all got any snacks downstairs?" And I was like, "Yeah." This fucker. So how I had my room set up, I had like a love seat facing this way, and I had a couch facing this way. And he's on the love seat. He on the game, and I had mine like on this side. And he just did this. And just pointed to the fucking door. So I go downstairs, and my sister's boyfriend at the time was he was like he was it was like a marker. He was designing like the back of his phone case, and I didn't see him. And this fucker popped up like a meerkat, and it kind of scared me. And I was like, "Whoa!" And he immediately knew. He was like, "What you doing?" And I was like, "I came down for snacks." And he was like, "Oh, I know what y'all are doing up there." And he was like, do you want me to make y'all some ramen? And I was like, oh, that sounds delicious. So I grabbed like all like the fun sized bags of chips and just walk up and just drop them down in my fucking room. And in about 10 minutes, bro comes up with like this just bowl of delicious ramen, right? So my high ass, I immediately took a bite, and I don't know what made me think this. It was insanely hot, but the fastest way that I knew how to get the ramen out of my mouth and back in the bowl was to just go, ah. And it just dripped out of my fucking mouth into the fucking bowl. And everyone's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? I said, dude, it was the fastest way that I could think of to get it from out of my mouth into the fucking bowl was to just go, ah.
Yeah,
And
man.
they were like, "Bro, what's wrong?" I was like, "It's hot." But
Yep.
yeah, dude, it's that's fucking hilarious how her face just went.
Yeah. And it just like
That's the
started
sure
dripping
mine,
out.
dude, for real,
Yeah,
man.
it was funny, man. It was priceless. But I can't put my mom on blast because she's dead. So thanks for that. Um, you know,
That, that wasn't
appreciate
called.
it.
That wasn't called for.
Um, but
uh,
yeah,
that's
uh, but she did teach me, like she would always say every day throughout elementary school when well, probably even through high school or probably through all my schooling. Um, she'd always say before I left the house, she would say hello to someone that you normally wouldn't say hello to today. It could make their day. And I think more people have
that's
to do that.
awesome.
Yeah, I think more people have to adopt that,
Mm,
because her thing is like you never know what someone's home life is like.
mm.
That hello could just brighten up someone's day, and just or just a simple compliment. Hey, I like your hair. Oh, that's a nice outfit, or
Yeah,
whatever.
as, especially in today's world where the majority of people that they go through whatever internally. It's like, yeah, dude, that's why it's it's always good to be kind, or even if it's the smallest thing, is to, just like you said, oh, nice shoes, nice outfit. I like the way you did your hair. Your nails match your eyes. Just something to hype somebody up just a little bit,
Yeah,
because you might never see them for the rest of your life, but they will remember you because of the,
exactly.
the because of the small thing that you said.
Exactly. Here at the Legends Clubhouse, we're preaching goodness and kindness, and be kind, rewind. If you still have a VHS, don't be a dick and return the movie. At the
Dude,
end of it, you have to rewind the entire thing
I
and be
used
like,
to,
"Fuck, this is 6 hours of the Titanic that I have to fucking rewind
dude,
on two different VHSs because for some reason it came on separate VHSs, part one and part two."
dude. I remember growing up, I would never rewind anything. So every time I'd go back to rewatch a movie, I'm like, damn it! So I'd have to rewind and sit there, because you
Well, yeah, I wouldn't rewind it like when
at the house.
after I was, but if I rented a video
Oh
that
yeah,
be, be kind rewind,
that's
like the
that's
next person's
hilarious.
gonna watch it. So I know that's before your time. So that's what Netflix started as. I'm not sure if you know that, but
Hmm.
Netflix started off as a movie rental, like a internet movie rental thing,
I
and
remember when
now
they
it's
would. I remember when they would send DVDs to your house. I remember that.
yeah, yeah. That's how it started. But I guess what I haven't even looked at like the NFL slate, college slate, anything. What games are you looking forward to this weekend?
I mean, obviously, there's the Super Bowl rematch. That's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, Chiefs.
Um,
I think 0-2, man.
Dude, if they start 0-2, their margin of error, because I'm not like, they haven't started out 0-2, but they've had like 4-5 starts before.
Hmm.
Their margin for error in the middle of the season, once again, they're not in fear of missing the playoffs because they are the Kansas City
Right.
Chiefs. But their margin for error in the middle of the season will be so small, because that's when they're I think in 3 straight weeks they go like Detroit, Buffalo, Baltimore, or some like three hard teams, like in the middle of their schedule. So that's really, once again, Chiefs are obviously going to make the playoffs, because when you have I'll always say, like, the mantra to my boys whenever we're talking about Chiefs. I'm like, it does 15 still play in red? They're good.
Right.
They're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
No. Like, so one of the most intriguing matches that like I'm scrolling through it right now.
Yeah,
And it's a 1 o'clock game. It's the Jags and Bengals
that game's
because I
gonna be
think
high scoring like a mother lover, dude.
both of them are like teams that could definitely take a huge jump this year, but also have a top five fucking draft pick. So like I'm like, okay, both are 1-0. I think it should be a close game.
Mm.
Trevor Lawrence is still trying to get to that next level. But I think that and there was one other game that I was looking at that kind of surprised me, that as far as like an intriguing matchup.
Yeah.
The Broncos and Colts.
That
Um,
that game's gonna be interesting too because of how dominant the Colts were and how
yeah,
shaky Bo Nix looked.
right. And is Danny Dimes going to be able to manage a game against one of the best defenses in the NFL?
Hmm.
Was it him just being in New York? Like some people aren't made out for big city playing.
Yeah.
So um, in a way less media covered city, Danny Dimes could shine, man. He had a great week 1.
Oh, dude, he was fantastic. The yeah, that's a really interesting like low key matchup because I think that's a what 1 or is that a 4-15 game?
It probably is a
That's
415.
my guess.
Let me double
Or
check.
25, whatever it is.
Yeah, 405.
Yeah,
405.
that's gonna be really. Oh, it's on CBS. So if that's not like your local market game, you should be able to get it on like Paramount. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, like the Colts to me, like I thought they were gonna be really,
Ass.
yeah, for a better lack of term, I thought they were gonna be ass. And then in week 1, now Miami's turned out to, in my opinion, be like the one of the worst organizations in the NFL, like top to bottom, all that jazz. But I don't know, cause like Danny Dimes, he's shown flashes in the past. They made the playoffs that one year with Brian Daboll, and they beat it was what the 3-13 Vikings. 13-3 Vikings in Minnesota. But like they were a fourth down play away from potentially winning the division. C.J. Stroud's first year with Gardner Minshew. Shane Steichen
Yeah.
to me has proven that as an offensive uh as an offensive play caller, when he was with the Eagles, he was awesome. And in Indy, one of the things, really quick, that kind of grind my gears or ruffle my feathers when you are a first time head coach and you don't have immediate success, and it's like, oh, are they on the hot seat year 2 or 3? It's like, it's
Yeah.
not even his roster yet.
Right. Right. Yeah. Like, coaches and GMs, I think, need like a 3 to 4 year window.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to like even get like their shit in, especially with like college, like they need a whole recruiting cycle to, be able to be evaluated after that.
Yeah.
And then go from there. But
Mm-hmm.
um anyway, there's, gonna be plenty of action this weekend, obviously, with college and the NFL. But we also have our Nerfies.
We do have our
I have
Nerfies.
to break a 2 game losing streak at this point. The only reason I want the baseball season to finish is because I'm doing so bad at these Nerfies. So, and I won't have to pick them until the spring here on the Legends Clubhouse. So, the Nerfie that I'm gonna go with today is game starting at 7:10 Eastern Standard Time.
Don't you do
It's a
it.
division matchup. The Chicago White Sox with Martin Perez. He's a left-handed pitcher. He's 1-4. We don't care about records, but he's got a 3.15 ERA and 39 strikeouts. He will be going against the Cleveland. I want to say Indians, but I'm going to go say Guardians. Tanner Bibby. He's a right-handed pitcher. He's no coincidentally 9-11, 4.69 ERA with 139 strikeouts. Let's get through the first with the White Sox and Guardians.
Before I get to mine really quick, I want your opinion on this because I forgot to bring it up earlier when we first on baseball. So Paul Skeens pitched on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
At 64 pitches, he was pulled after the fifth. Why not just, even though I know they're not, playoff contending team, why not just like let him continue his normal workload? Or is it because we don't want to, risk him for future seasons?
Well, so there, he might be on an innings count,
Which is
um,
insane.
on his contract. I mean, like if a lot of times if they go exceed a number of innings pitched, they get a bonus or whatever. So that could be it. I'm not sure what his contract
Hmm.
states, but
I
that
was gonna
kind of
say
seems
because when
more
I
kind of shutting down for the year type thing. So
dude, because like when obviously Skeen's on the mound. I want to at least keep a tab
Yeah,
on it. He was great. 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 8 Ks, 64 pitches, and then I'm like, oh, he might pitch a complete game.
yeah,
Because 64 through 5 is kind of manageable, and it's not like you're going against like the Yankees. You're going against Baltimore. So
right.
I was just really confused. I was like, I mean, I understand because they're 20 games under 500, but it was
Mhm.
still like, why not just see?
It's like those. It's like week 18 prop bets. Like you always got to look at the guys that have incentives in their contracts because those teams know about that, so they're
Dude,
gonna try to get them there.
I
So,
remember it
um,
was. I remember it was. I don't remember if it was the year they won the Super Bowl or the year after, but Gronk needed like one more catch, and so there's a mic'd up clip about it. Tom walked over to Gronk and was like, "You need one more catch?" And he need like one more catch for a millie. So he threw him just like a basic flat route or something like that,
yeah,
and then Gronk celebrated with like Donovan Smith, their left tackle at the time, and it's like, "I got a millie, where we go?" And just because Gronk's just a fun guy, bro. But yeah,
right.
my my Nerfy kind of interesting because you have two notable pitchers on the
Colorado,
mound. Huh?
Colorado Rockies.
Absolutely not. The Detroit Tigers and the Miami Marlins. We got Tarek Skubal, who is having once again a Cy Young campaign. 13-4 record. 2.1 ERA, 222 Ks. Really interesting though against the this Miami lineup. Small sample size, only 19 at bats for their entire like lineup roster XYZ. He's allowing a 316 batting average, but once again, it's also the first time that he's faced Miami this year. So really interesting to see. And it's going against Sandy Alcantara. I remember last year he was just a unit, but now he's just kind of been poo poo. He has a 8-12 record and a 5.67 ERA and 123 Ks, and has not I guess ever faced this Tigers lineup because he doesn't have any stats against this Tigers lineup. But that is my Nerfy of the day.
So, thank you for joining us here at the Legends Clubhouse. We are live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So whether you have your bad applesauce, bad milk, flimsy bacon, cereal with dry cereal, or or pancakes with no syrup. Join us on those days for your breakfast. If you can't join us, our show always goes up onto our YouTube channel under New Leaf News. Go subscribe, hit that subscribe button, get your notifications for when we are live or when our show goes up. Follow us over on social medias at New Leaf News. It's under Blue Sky, X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I think I got them all. And of course on YouTube. Go check us out at newleafnews.com or /network. Both of them take you to the same great site. We have daily content, whether it's sports, entertainment, um, horoscope shit, space dust magic. Oh, that's the same shit, right? Murder, crime
Bro, just
stuff.
murder, not crime, just murder.
People love murder, crime stuff. And we have some politics stuff over there too. We don't talk about it here, but you could find it over there.
Mm.
Gaming, whatever you're looking for, we probably got it. So go check us out. We appreciate the support. Go follow us on our social medias. I am at Bobby Kaboose on X, on Instagram. That is at Lawson _1226 on both platforms. We all know that that's his birthday now. We got to keep plugging it. Get him a new American flag. Have it posted over that stupid Steelers flag in the back. Make him pledge his allegiance every morning. And do his national anthem every day at noon, like Mission Barbecue does around here. Anyway, my last thing I want to say is people be better. As a society, we shouldn't have all this hate, and violence is never the answer. You shouldn't be celebrating someone's death. There, like Biggie said, there's no coming back from that. So us as a society has to get better. And I blame social media and a lot of that shit. If you don't want someone's opinion, then don't look for it. Don't. whatever. Everyone's got one. Everyone's entitled to freedom of speech, and their own opinion, as long as it doesn't result in violence or any, illegal activity or whatever. You know, it's their right to express their feelings and their words. So take that, have a great weekend. Do something nice for someone today that you normally wouldn't.